Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European Indices for Thursday, September the 23rd, starting with the STOXX 50 here. We're looking at, we've got the first move down as the A wave, and we've been looking up now for the B wave. It's coming into the supply zone, so it should slow down here. It does look rather bullish though, I give you that, but let's just go in. It counts slightly different here. Well, a couple of things really. I mean, the FTSE had been correcting a long way before this particular move here, and the DAX, we could even put wave 5 at the top here, but in this case the best sort of fit is 1 and 2 and 3 and a bit of overlap here for 4 and then 5 here. But I do wonder if, I just find this wave 5 a bit short, and I do wonder if this wave 4 here is over here for the DAX. And STOXX 50 and so on, but we'll just continue to play this move out through here, and we'll also understand at what point we're going to be wrong as well. So over the last few days or sessions and so on, we've been looking for the bounce off the medium level here, and we've been looking for 3 waves to the upside here. Obviously there's, that's where the supply is, the 50-60% type of thing, so let's just put that in there, which is where it is at now, but I do see it moving higher here as well, so we'll go in and have a look at that. But it's okay to go higher, it's not the it's not the end of the world. But what we do want to understand is that we can count 5 waves to here, we can count a retracement level here, and now we're counting 5 waves to here. So that's all it should be. If we get a correction here and then another 5 up here, then we'll have 5 waves up here. So then we've got a different situation, because then we'll have a correction and then another, we'll move up higher at that point. So this move here will be in 3 waves, so we'll be looking to go long at that point. That's when we know that we'll be wrong at that stage. But otherwise we'll just go up to this point here and move up and then move down lower at that point. So we'll just allow it to play out, but let's just get a better idea of what the actual count is here. So we've got it counts as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. The DAX counts a little bit differently. We can actually count a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 here, and then further to the upside there, but this is a bit different. So we've just been counting 5 waves in this wave C here, so that's sort of where we're at the moment with that. So let's just go into the tick chart. Even if you don't trade this market, it's kind of good to compare them to each other and so on. So let's just get in a bit more data here. So yeah, wave 3 here with the A wave here, an A and a B and a C for the B wave up here. Well, not that far up, but it's just, and then down for wave C of 4. But like I said, we've got this here is in 3 waves, so technically the market can just go straight up from there. We know this is bullish, or this is in 3 waves, so we know it's corrective. We know that the market will make new highs eventually. Will it just go straight up from there, or will it be an ABC pattern here, then down and then up? Or will it even get more complicated, because triangles are in 3, so it could just be the A wave, the B, C, D and E over here. So as I mentioned, coming into wave 4, there's quite a few possibilities. We just need to be a little bit conscious of what we're doing and understanding both sides of the coin, so to speak. So we've counted 5 waves up here, so an ABC back again, so that's all nice and fitting. And then when we look over here, you can see 1 and 2 and 3 here and 4 here. And I'm going to look at all that as wave 5 there. So wave 1 and 2 at that point. And then we're going up for wave 3 here, then there'll be an ABC back for wave 4, and then we'll go up for wave 5. So yeah, I don't know how, if that's the size of that wave 4, well then you would expect this one here to be a little bit bigger. So we can put that up there somewhere. We need to count 5 waves in here. Once that's occurred, then we can look at that wave 4, and then wave 5 that will take us probably just above 4.2 there. And that will be the important point here too, because anything past that, let's just say that we go wave here and then we get some sort of correction here for wave 4 that can pull back to this wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, and then wave 5 up here. Okay, so once we get that there, we'll get, if it's going to be bullish, we're just going to get a classic trading levels pattern like that. So that's where we would go long from, because at that point, that's where we know that would be wrong at that point. But otherwise, we'll just see this retest here and then, move on further down. And under this 3 waves here, then we can short it under 3 waves. You could short it on the retrace of this one here, but you may get caught out in that position. So if we're going to, anyway, we'll get a bit closer to the market. It's a bit tricky shorting tops and so on. You got to know what you're doing, and you need to act at the exact, within reasonable time. You just can't be too far behind the 8 ball. So if you're going to short the top here, then tracking those 5 waves up there and nailing the 5th of the 5th of the 5th right down, and then just getting the first little tiny impulse wave down on 5 ticks or something like that, then you'd be into that. Then you can hold that position while this wave 2 comes back, 60 or 80%, and then you can get down to here. It can just move up from this point, because it's 3 waves at that point. That's where the stop would have to be, is where you go long. So you can build in, but you've got to do it at the tops, very close to the tops. Otherwise, if you do it down the bottom here, you end up carrying these losses all the time. So it takes a bit of a skill set to do that. But yeah, look, the takeaway from here is that we have a very clean A, B, and C wave to the upside here. The C wave is getting a bit of form to it, and it's a bigger size by the looks of it than wave A. So it's possible that this can be a wave 3 here. So that's what we need to be watching out for. Okay, so that will be our next thing to understand, this pullback in this area through here. Okay, well, that is the stock 50. Let's have a look at, the DAX is next here, so we'll look at that. Once again, we've got those, we can look at that as the top, or that as the top on the cash market. That's the top there, but it's very difficult to get 5 waves up there. I mean, we could go 1 and 2 in here, but you're kind of forcing stuff, and when you're forcing stuff, you've got to kind of okay, I'm trying to make that fit. That's probably not a good idea, or is that okay? You've got to stand back and have a look at the bigger picture. And this move down through here, this move here is corrective, so we will be making new highs up at the 1650 and beyond. The question is do we count this differently here, and do we go straight up from here, or do we go to our B wave and we come back down into this space and then move up? I mean, I've always found this a little bit short. So if I just go back to, this is the daily chart, if I go back to the weekly chart just for a moment, just want to shoot the breeze on this because that's not correct. So okay, so this is our weekly chart here. So this is the length of wave 1. I could probably shapen that up a little bit better. And I think that I will, just in case there's some sort of, let's just do it like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's a little bit high. Okay, I'll just bring it back down a bit. Give it a fighting chance. Still a bit high, but still. So I'll put that on wave 2 there. And that's the length of wave. Wave 3 is still shorter than wave 1. It's okay to be shorter, but that means wave 5 will be shorter still, and that's a possibility. Wave 3 simply just can't be the shortest out of all of them, out of 1, 3, and 5. So if it's going to be short here, and even wave 5, this is the thing that really bugs me here, is that this wave 5 is so short, And then what we're going to put wave 4 here with, wave 4 should be much bigger than wave 2 here. So if it goes straight up from there, I don't think it's a wave 4 in that case. I think we need to sort of put this over here and look a little bit higher at that point. And the same with the S&P, because the S&P is still, I think, still shorter than wave 1 as well. So I'm not convinced we're in this wave 4. I know that we're in a wave 4. I'm just wondering if we're in one of one lesser degree, that's all. I mean, I can understand the fifth wave being shorter because a lot of money was pumped into the system here, and now they're thinking, should we, well, we're kind of forced to, aren't we, pump more in, and all these sorts of things. And I mean, these countries are, everybody's blaming the Fed for printing so much money, but everybody else is doing it as well. Even in Australia here, would be shocked of the ratios of what they're printing. So it's the same in the in the Eurozone as well. I'm not a full book on all of that, but they're all doing it. So anyway, yeah, this is my problem. Wave 5 is too short. Wave 3 is still not longer than wave 1. Doesn't have to be, but yada yada yada. So all these sorts of things. If this is wave 4 here, it should be at least 60% bigger than this previous wave 4. Because it's a degree higher. Everything's expanding through time and space, so that's why it should be larger. So anyway, issue. Let's go back to the daily chart for a moment just to pick it up. So basically what we're doing, we're looking for 3 waves up for wave B into the box here, or any of these sorts of supply levels where all those open and closes there. That would probably be the number that you're looking at, which is the 700, the 15,700. So let's just go into, I'm not sure what I've updated, but let's just work through the different degrees. So yeah, so we're looking like this. I've got an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave, the same as the STOXX 50, but there is a case where we can count wave 1 and 2 in here, and 3 and 4 and 5, and have 5 waves up, but we're not seeing that on the STOXX 50, but we're going to have a look at it anyway. I don't want to stick my head in the sand. It's all the little subtleties and idiosyncrasies that make things, make the picture complete. Yeah, so obviously the supply levels up here, we just nailed in 700, so that's up in here somewhere a little bit. It's in this, obviously it's in this block here. Group 2 that we normally use is 15,650, 15,720, and 15,800. So yeah, but that's where the brick wall is, pretty much on the beginning of minor group 2. So we'll see how we go at that point. So we just need to continue inwards here for a moment. So carrying on from yesterday as well, we were down here somewhere. We're looking for a move up into the box, so we're moving up in there, and we're looking for 5 waves. So we're pretty close at the moment for those. We can just put these across over here. See this little dude here? So we could look at that as 1 and 2 here, and then all of this is 3 and 4 and 5 up here. But it would be different from the STOXX 50. So, but anyway, we just got to kind of give them both a bit of consideration. And into the tick chart from this point on, let's just understand that B to C there. We'll just need a bit more data. Maybe 5 is enough. Okay, that's enough. So from this low here, as well, I've got wave 4 there of 1 lesser degree, but it's possible. I'll just pop him down there for the moment. Yeah, in this case, it's kind of interesting because we can look at this as 1 and 2. But I think this can also be viewed, because it hasn't made a new low below here, I think it can also be viewed as part of this as well. Yeah, I can see how that fits. So it's possible probably to have this over here in reality. Anyway, just got to clear that up. But otherwise, even besides all of this, even if we looked at this as the, let's just put it the same as the STOXX 50 just for a moment, so we're on the same page a little bit. Copy this, and because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter which way I look at this. Once we've done these 5 waves here, then we need to then we'll understand where we're at with that. So once again, here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can do that and that. And then here I've got this as 1 and 2 here, and then I've got all of this as the 3rd wave here. I have gone over it. It seems to be okay, but I should double check it just in case this is the wave 4 over here, which I'll do tomorrow. But wave 5 of 3 here, and then an ABC for 4 here, and then going up for 5. So the thing with 5 is that, do we just get a little 5 waves up here and we're done with it, or do we get something like this here? Also too, it looks like wave 1 here so far. I should just check this. So we could look at that as, because that's where this is going to be the deciding factor. We need to look at that as 1 and 2 there. We'll have to look at all of that as 1, I'd imagine. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back for 2 here, and then that would be 1 and 2, or all of that for, let me just get these in here, 3, 4, and 5. So we need to look at that. Let's just open this up a little bit. Kind of suits there best, doesn't it? And it leaves that one, or that one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not quite sure. Have to mull it over a little bit more. I just think we need to be prepared for this to be sitting over here for this. This move here has got in wave 1 here and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So this is a 4th wave pullback here. So we've still got one more up here at minimum, which will take us up. But that's the question, isn't it? I don't think, the thing here that's a little bit interesting is that wave 1 appears to be longer than wave 3 here. So if we take wave 1 here, for example, just pop that there and then move that to there, you see how that wave 3 is much shorter. So if that's correct, then wave 5 is going to be shorter than wave 3, so to speak, so we won't go that far. But we can't short yet anyway, because we're not seeing any impulse waves to the downside. But be very careful, it's not the place to go long up here. We traded the Nasdaq and the S&P up through all of this, but not the Euro markets. I didn't think they'd bounce back as strong because they've been a bit soft, Okay, let's have a quick look at the FTSE. Yeah, so on the daily chart here for the FTSE, I wonder if this is the case here as well for this as an A and a B and a C, and we haven't got wave 3 yet. So we'll also need to be careful about what we get up through here, because it certainly looks impulsive up through here. Anyway, let's just cruise in and go back to our original account here, which was having wave 3 up there. That's the way we've been playing it out. And looking for, well, that's the 61.8%. We don't need that one now. That's the 61.8%. We just double check that from here. Yep, that's right. Oh, was that 78.6? That's next level is just there, really. So we'll keep an eye on that. But it has burned through that. So getting a support here, this makes it a little bit sort of easier here for this. Getting support on the 7,100 here as a classic trading levels pattern, that would also help us turn bullish as well. But let's just cruise in a bit further. So this is the 1 hour chart here. So we're above where we wanted to be, but that's sort of okay. Let's just see where we are with that. Need to go to the tick chart just to have a look. I don't think I've updated it, so, but we kind of know where we are a little bit. Well, in this case too, it looks like we've got a different count here. Let's just go back a little bit further. So from the low here, it's a bit like the DAX, isn't it? We can look at that as wave 1 here. Just make this work a bit better. So it looks like we're getting 5 waves up here. Let me just double check this. 1 and 2 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave, 4th and 5th. So the other 5th has got to be in there. So that's like, I'm just making sure it's not part of like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, that kind of thing, So here it looks like we've got an impulse wave to the upside. We haven't really missed anything, by the way, either. And this looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. So something else going on here. 1 and 2. just want to put these in as well, because if we're going to go long, we want this ABC. This is where we'll get our trade set up here, because if this is actually wave 1 up here, then we can look for wave 2, which will be the ABC pattern there, and then we can look up further. I mean, this just is counting like an impulse wave, isn't it? So, and the other thing we need to be mindful of here as well, it doesn't get away on us, is that this could be wave 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 here, because, let me just check on this. Bit of a rock and a hard place, because it's pulled back 50%, so it's either 40% for a wave 4 or 61.8%, 62%, 60% for a wave thing, so it's sort of on the 50 there, so it's a little bit iffy, but it could be that. I'll just pop that there just to remind me that we could look at this as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, because this is looking like a third wave here. See how powerful it is? It's more like the third of the third here. And then we just need to have a quick count of this to the upside. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for 1 and 2. So we can put that in. So I should have had this all done and organized. Unless that's all just wave 1 there. Because that's what we've got for the other markets, isn't it? So maybe that is right. Maybe I need to put that there, but still leave waves short. Okay, well, anyway, we're going to get a classic trading levels pattern across the 7,100. And the reason I know that for is because we've had that reaction here. So that means that we're going to be pushing up here into group 1. So group 1 of 100 would be 10, 20, and 30. So that's about as far as it will go up there to 30, and then 20 and 10 here. And then we've got group 2 below, which is 65 and 72 in there. So that's all of those levels. So that's the space we're going to be working in. And let's just give it a session to finish off in here. And then we'll see if we get this corrective move here. Because if we get this ABC pattern in here, then we can look to go long. And we need that as a C wave, of course. And wave 2. So we're in the other markets, we're expecting a bear market. So, but I just want to be on the guard for, look out for a change in trend here, you know. I mean, for any bullish, we just need to be, you know, it's not about, I mean, it's nice to get things right all the time, but it's more important to make money. So I'm just covering my ass here, that's all. I mean, but there's a good case for it all here. I mean, I might have this wrong. I need to mull all of this over, and it may even push a little bit higher. But, I mean, you know, I think that anybody could count that as 5 waves. There's nothing wrong with that. So I may actually go back and check on the S&P and all that a bit later as well. But the S&P really hasn't moved up here. This is the 1 hour chart for the S&P. And we can see that... you know, we're just looking for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, but that's being really sluggish, isn't it? Let me just have a look at the Nasdaq. This is my Nasdaq count sort of finishing off here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish off, but I just want to have a look on the, say, 4 hour chart. Just want to, it's not that one, it's, well, we need, not want that, we want this. Just want to have a look at how much it's actually moved up. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's the American markets that have been perky and the European markets being lazy, and now it's the other way around. So in this case, they're struggling to move up, you know. So it's interesting to see the Euro markets push up. But we're going to do the same thing here again with this as well, because You know, we could look at that as a bullish move, but we'd have to move past wave C here. So even though the European markets can go higher, we just need to be careful of this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 finishing off for wave C of B here. Once we get those 5 waves there, anything higher, well then sure, we can look at it being bullish. But coming back to these markets, if I just go back to 200 and go back to 4 hour here, just to also get a perspective. You know, these have perked right up here, haven't they? You know, I do wonder if this, you know, I do wonder if we've got some sort of wave 4 over here. But anyway, we'll see. We have to play it out to the last point and the last structure. So that's what we'll do. So we'll just stay with it all. And tomorrow we'll pick up the pieces and see where we're at with it. Alrighty. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.